Hey everyone, welcome back to Genai Sports News. And what a way to kick things off, because England have done it. The Three Lions are through to the World Cup quarterfinals after one of the most nerve-shredding matches you'll ever witness. According to Sky Sports, England edged past co-hosts Mexico 3-2 in an extraordinary game at the iconic Azteca Stadium. Jude Bellingham was absolutely electric, and Harry Kane added his quality up top. But it was the defensive unit that really dug deep when Mexico came roaring back. England were leading 3-1 before Mexico pulled one back to set up an agonizing finish. Goalkeeper Jordan Pickford was crucial, making two massive saves to keep England alive. And he told BBC Sport afterwards that while it wasn't pretty, the squad showed real character when it mattered most. Meanwhile, Sky Sports reports that manager Thomas Tuchel was full of emotion after the final whistle, immensely proud of his players, calling the performance heroic, but he didn't hold back on the officials. He told reporters, and I'm paraphrasing here, that the standard of World Cup refereeing simply isn't good enough. A sentiment BBC Sport says he repeated emphatically in his post-match press conference. England now await their quarterfinal opponent, and the whole nation will be buzzing. What a night at the Azteca. Now, with all the joy of that England victory comes a bit of a painful footnote, literally. ESPN is reporting that midfielder Jordan Henderson ended up in hospital after suffering a serious wrist injury. And here's the kicker. It didn't happen during the match. Henderson apparently slipped and fell while celebrating England's win over Mexico, and the impact was bad enough that he had to be taken to hospital. BBC Sport also confirmed the incident, showing footage of Henderson holding his wrist in clear discomfort during the post-match celebrations. There's no word yet on how long he could be sidelined. But this is a massive concern heading into the quarterfinals. You genuinely couldn't script it, surviving a war at the Azteca, only to get hurt in the celebrations. Everyone at Genai Sports News is wishing Jordan a speedy recovery. Fingers crossed he's back on the pitch soon. Now if England's win was dramatic, what Erling Haaland served up in the other last 16 fixture was nothing short of spectacular. Sky Sports reports that Norway have knocked out Brazil. Yes, Brazil, to advance to the World Cup quarterfinals. The Seleção looked set to progress, but Haaland had other ideas, producing a stunning late double to seal a 2-1 victory for Norway. Brazil, one of the pre-tournament favorites, are heading home early, and the football world is absolutely stunned. What makes this even more mouth-watering? Norway's quarterfinal opponent will be none other than England. So we've got Haaland versus the Three Lions coming up, and if Sunday night is anything to go by, that match is going to be absolutely box office. Get your popcorn ready, folks. All right, let's shift gears from the football pitch to the swimming pool, because we witnessed a truly historic moment over the weekend. ESPN is reporting that Canadian swimming sensation Summer McIntosh has broken the longest-standing individual world record in women's swimming, the 200-meter butterfly. She clocked an incredible time of 2 minutes and 1.65 seconds at the Canadian trials, smashing a record that had stood for an extraordinarily long time. Let that sink in. The longest-standing individual women's swimming world record, gone. McIntosh, who is already one of the most exciting names in aquatic sports, has announced herself on an entirely new level with this performance. The swimming community is celebrating, the Canadian public is celebrating, and honestly, anyone who loves watching sporting greatness should be celebrating. Summer McIntosh, remember that name, because she is something very, very special. Wimbledon is delivering drama in spades this year, and the women's draw just blew wide open. ESPN reports that Naomi Osaka has pulled off a stunning upset, defeating world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka in the 4th round. Osaka absolutely dismantled the top seed on the Wimbledon grass, and just like that, the tournament favorite is out. This opens up the draw in a massive way. And the question now is who steps up to fill the void. Osaka, a former Grand Slam champion, has shown she still has the firepower to compete with anyone in the world on her best day. Meanwhile, BBC Sport is also following the exciting story of British wildcard Arthur Ferry, who is preparing for the biggest match of his career, a 4th-round clash on center court against Gregor Dimitrov. The home crowd is fully behind him, and the atmosphere at SW19 is electric. Wimbledon 2026 is shaping up to be one for the ages. Over in Major League Baseball, We had a wild Sunday afternoon in Oakland. ESPN reports that Miami Marlins pitcher Pérez was cruising through what could have been a historic perfect game. Retiring all 21 batters, he faced over 7 innings against the Athletics without giving up a single hit, walk, or run. But the Marlins decided to pull him after those 7 perfect innings. What happened next? Well, the bullpen came in with an 8-run lead and nearly threw the whole thing away before Miami held on to win the game. Look, the debate around pulling a pitcher from a potential perfect game is one of baseball's most controversial topics, and this is going to have people talking for days. Pérez did everything right, and while the Marlins did get the win, you can imagine how the pitcher himself must be feeling about leaving that historic moment on the table. Baseball, folks, it never stops being wild. Now, this next story is one that puts sport firmly into perspective. ESPN is reporting a truly heartbreaking situation surrounding Los Angeles Dodgers catcher Eliezer Alfonso Jr. His stepmother and sister were found dead in Venezuela following the devastating earthquakes that struck the country last week. Despite this unimaginable personal loss, Alfonso Jr. was still set to make his debut for the Dodgers. We want to take a moment here to send our deepest condolences to Eliezer and his entire family during what must be an absolutely devastating time. The courage it takes to carry on professionally while dealing with that kind of grief is something words can barely describe. Our thoughts are with everyone affected by the earthquakes in Venezuela, and we hope Alfonso Jr. finds strength in the support of his teammates and fans. And finally, a serious safety warning coming out of the Tour de France. BBC Sport is reporting that fans have been urged to stay away from the end of Stage 3 of the race due to dangerous wildfires burning in the south of France. Organizers have asked supporters not to gather at the stage finish to ensure their safety and to allow emergency services to operate without obstruction. It's a sobering reminder that even the world's most famous cycling race isn't immune to the very real dangers of wildfires, which have been a growing threat across southern Europe during summer months. The race itself is continuing, but rider and spectator safety is absolutely the priority. If you were planning to head out and watch Stage 3 in person, please heed that advice and stay safe. We'll keep you updated on how the situation develops. And that's a wrap for today's Genai Sports News. If you enjoyed today's show, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.